Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. I think I'm the only one here, so. Just. Sweet. Let's just wait. Just do that. Hello. We'll just wait for one more member, just kind of get everybody up to speed, and then I'll invite Astrid to come in and explain why she wants to modify. And then we'll talk about other things.
Pardon me moving things around.
Hey everybody, I'm driving home from drama class with my daughter. I'll be home shortly and settle in, but I'm in the car in case you're wondering. I apologize
Okay.
for the camera view.
No worries. Thanks, Justin.
Just drive safe.
Will do.
Let's see, just bringing up the agenda.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so Christina just entered, and since we have quorum, the four of us, I'll let Astrid in and she can kind of talk about why she wants to switch, and we'll let her take the first few minutes, and then when she's done, we'll get to other business. How sounds good?
Yep.
See, okay,
Sounds good.
okay, let me figure out how to do that. Right. Okay, here we go. Where do I find the waiting room?
If you open up participants, you'll see the waiting room on the top of the
Okay.
participants.
And Christina's admitting again. Okay. Okay,
Okay.
Christina's in. Okay, cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Hi, so we have a quorum now with Christina, and I invited Astrid Rojas to come and just talk to us a little bit about why she wants to modify the grant appeal. So, joining again. Okay. So the floor is yours, Astrid, if you want to.
Hi, my name's Astrid Rojas, and I want to thank you guys first for, I haven't said it before, thank you for approving the grant application earlier this year. Very much appreciative. It was, I think, a really big vision that I had in mind to accomplish that could not be accomplished without the grant funding. So I want to say thank you first. But with my original vision, I wanted to include or to be able to help many families across Bridgewater and Rainham, particularly the schools. But throughout the year, it became clear that what I had applied for was out of scope for what the PTO had in mind. They've made it clear that, you know, their focus is fundraising. And although they do support diversity and inclusion efforts, they've repeatedly, you know, made it clear that they're not, you know, in favor or fully in favor of, and I don't want to say this for the entire board, right? But the particular individuals that that I dealt with that made a lot of the decisions with me throughout this year, they made it clear that, you know, they weren't willing to just extend events out to other schools. Even though they do collaborate with other schools, they repeatedly just reminded us that they wanted the schools to cover costs, even with other grants that we received throughout the year. So, you know, with the previous grant, technically they, you know, we didn't fulfill what we originally applied to do, which was to help multiple schools. So I would be doing the same here if I remained with them right now. And I think that they're, you know, reflecting on this and not trying to become emotional about it. You know, one, there was a breakdown in communication because I applied for this grant as an individual, you know, and I really did share my vision. And then as the year went by, we made sure to apply for other grants as, you know, the PTO itself, not as an individual. And so when I received the funding, I did let them know that I received it. When I received the award letter, I did let them know that I received it. And then when we began to plan out the actual events and set dates and you know, to market the events, they asked for the funding. And that's when I told them, you know, well, you know, I deposited it, you know, I'm starting to buy the books and, you know, for one of the events. And rather than trying to resolve it, they gave me 24 hours to return it and to deal with the repercussions. So there was no opportunity to correct it, you know, together. And so I immediately reached out to like other PTO presidents to see if I had done anything wrong. You know, I emailed and I reached out to the Bridgewater Cultural Council, which they reached out to the state to confirm, you know, whether I was at wrong or not. So, so that's why I've, you know, made sure to request this modification to the application to one. Unfortunately, you know, it's not how I wanted to end my year because I have invested a lot of time this year just coordinating different events for the schools and the district as well. So although I don't know what the future is with my partnership with them, you know, I don't know what that holds, but I don't want the original vision to go to waste. So, and I am currently part of the district DEI committee. I am part of on the board of DICE. I also have already reached out to BCCR, and they're all in support of the the other organizations that I'd like to collaborate with for these events. So,
Thank you,
hoping that-
Astrid. Just to clarify, or just to kind of get everybody up to speed. When Astrid came to me, I said, I don't think there's a problem at all with modifying. And I also didn't see any need for her to surrender the funds over to and I contacted Lisa, I don't remember her title, but she's like, she works for the state cultural council, and confirmed that was in fact true. She did not need to give the money back, and she was allowed to modify. So that's what we're doing here. So Astrid I don't know if anybody read the letter that she sent, but the last page itemizes exactly what she wants to spend the money on. And Astrid, you could do this as an individual. You don't need to partner with
Okay.
BCCR or DICE or DER. You're more than welcome to, especially because I think if you do, you're probably gonna get the word out to more people. But just to clarify, you were awarded this grant individual, and there's no partnership necessary. I mean,
Okay,
like I
thank
said,
you.
you could partner with all three of them at once to really get the word out, since it's, the virtual pieces.
Okay.
Does anybody have any questions for Astrid?
No, I was just reading the itemized list because I read the letter earlier today during my lunch break. So no, I have no problems with it. I mean, like I'm always going to be really in favor of like anything involving diversity, inclusion, and equity. So that was really exciting.
Thank you.
So I'm totally in favor of it. As long as there's no issues, and like Teresa just mentioned that there doesn't seem to be any issues with modifying it. I can't see why we would kind of stand in the way of that at all.
Okay. Okay,
Astrid, if I could, pardon me, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, please do.
Astrid, I was just going to ask, and I agree. I think diversity and inclusion is central to culture in any community. So I applaud you for your individual efforts and your collaborative efforts with both the schools and then with the clearly multiple local organizations that you work with. It just as an aside to our discussion of funding, what's your plan moving forward to still reach the targeted school children in and around the parent-teacher organization environment? Do you foresee, if the funding's there, that you'll still be able to engage and utilize the same means you originally proposed?
Yeah, I originally if I had done it through the PTO, I would only be able to promote the event through the PTO Facebook group. So that is actually much more limited than the channels that I would have now. I could post it pretty much on any Bridgewater Bridgewater Rainham Facebook groups right now, and just allow families to have the opportunity to see it, not just whoever's in the Gym Spot group. So I have a lot more freedom with advertising it and making it available, all the events available to whomever wants to access it.
Does that answer your question, Justin? He might be frozen. He's driving right now. Okay,
But I
thank
also
you.
want to say I will let the So I do know Mr. Swenson, and I'd be happy now that this is no longer, that this would no longer be a PTO specific, collaborative initiative. I have the freedom to reach out to the district and let them know of these events. And specifically because I am on their district DEI committee. And then just if they support it, they would be happy to announce it. I just have, but I didn't have the liberty to do that before because the PTOs do separate themselves from the district. So,
Yeah, understandable. Gotcha. Thank you very much for that clarification.
you're welcome.
So, so the modification actually is more in line with our priorities as a council than your original application. So that's wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on. We're probably going to get, you're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, but we're going to be talking about just other issues as well. So thank you.
Should we vote on, do we need to vote on if we want to accept this this change?
We will be voting on that. Yeah, I have that further down on the agenda.
Okay. Okay, I see in section D.
Okay.
Unless, is there a reason that you would want to do that now?
No, I think, well, if that is, how many modifications do we have on this on our agenda? Is it just Astrid's, or is it?
There's modification and an appeal, and then just some other like random stuff.
Okay, let's then we can do it all together.
Okay.
I thank you guys for the time tonight.
Bye, Astrid. Thank you.
Thank you, Astrid.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
Okay. So Amy Dos Santos originally applied, wanted to like buy diversity books for some preschools, remember? And we denied it, but we let her know that if she like could tweak it so that it would.
Christina, you might need to mute
be
yourself
more
while
accessible to the public. Sorry, what?
I said that you're getting some feedback because I think it's coming on Christina's stream, so there won't be any more feedback.
Okay.
Unless,
Okay. So
Sorry.
anyway, so she has appealed it and wrote, I'll just read it to you. Again, this was in the I think most of us have access to the email, so I'll just read it from there. She'd like to create pre-recorded read aloud and activities with the books bought and share them with Bridgewater Elementary School, libraries, and social justice groups such as Coalition for Change. Community Coalition for Change is an East Bridgewater group. I'd like to also purchase a little library free sharing book box and put it in Bridgewater. I'd purchase multicultural books and diversity promoting books to place in the little library. And she has a link to the little free library. I'd love the opportunity to join together with you in this effort to reach our young children early and change the way they see color for the better. So that's on the table too. And we have like lots of money to spend. So does anybody have any questions about that appeal?
So she wants to have it, can you just explain it one more time?
Okay, maybe I'll read the whole thing. She said, in order to maintain my desire to increase diversity in their literature and toys that our young child have access to, and also concentrate on the residents of Bridgewater more, I'd like to revise my proposal in the following way. She wants to create pre-recorded read aloud and activities with the books that she is going to purchase. Hi, Kelsey. Hi, Kelsey.
Hi.
And share them with Bridgewater Elementary School, libraries, and social justice groups such as Coalition for Change. And she'd also like to purchase a little free library and fill it with multicultural books and diversity promoting books. So
Did she-
Kelsey, just to get you up to speed, I'm just reading the appeal from Amy Dos Santos. She was originally wanted to just buy diversity and multicultural books for the preschools.
Yeah.
And so I'm just reading her appeal that she wants to buy books, share them with the library, the elementary school, social justice groups such as Community Coalition for Change, create pre-recorded read aloud and activities for the books, and purchase a little free library to place in Bridgewater filled with multicultural books and diversity promoting books.
Okay.
Any questions about that?
Did she have any specific location that she wanted to put the library, or is it just?
She did not mention. I'm sure she would be open to suggestions. I don't know how those work, and I didn't click on the link that there. So why don't I click on the link, see what they say about that. Yeah, I don't know if she would have to get like town permission or.
Yeah, I think it's either on private land you get the private permission, or town you just have to get the town permission.
Okay, yeah, so, yeah. Okay, any other questions about that?
No.
Okay. Also, Tommy Roll was awarded a grant. I think it was like $437. I think he does a concert or something.
Yeah.
He requested to be reimbursed after he performed rather than receive a direct grant. So in case anybody wants to do that in the future, it's not our preference, but we can make it work. It's more work for us, like just take the money, but he doesn't feel comfortable with it. And we honestly need people to give money to at this point. So it's fine this time, but I would just say that's not our preference.
Right.
But we can. And then the other thing before we vote, BCCR had their Indigenous Forum last night that we funded, and had some questions about what to turn into the final report. And maybe we can look that up together now, because no one's ever asked us that before. I don't think anyone's ever done a final report before. So maybe we can look that up.
Yeah, I think there's a section where I think we can just kind of send them some documents that says what to describe. I think that's in the online toolbook.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was thinking maybe we can do that tonight. Okay. So those were the things that I had up for discussion, and let's vote on, so Kelsey, are you the only, hi.
Hi.
It says Jennifer's iPhone. Is that maybe Jessica? Who is that?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, so Kelsey, before we vote, did you get a chance to read the modification from Astrid?
Yes, I did catch it, and I
And
didn't.
do you have any questions?
Out at
about
me
that?
that I had any questions about. That was when we had discussed initially when it came up, and I liked it. Just it needed to be specified, and it sounds like she's done that. So I don't have any.
Okay. Okay, cool. So all in favor of approving the Astrid Rojas's grant application modification, say aye.
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 Aye. And- Okay, we have quorum, yay. All in favor of approving Amy Dos Santos's appeal? Say aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
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 Okay, yay, so we have quorum for that too. Thank you guys for coming to this meeting on short notice. And the only other thing that I wanted to let you guys know is that the town manager, Michael Dutton, would like to attend our next meeting next month to talk about the Old Town Hall. So I wanted to see if the May 18th or June 1st would be better for everyone for that next meeting.
That is a good question.
May 18th should be okay for me. I'll be getting back from Florida around that day, so.
Okay.
June 1st is better for me. May 18th, I have my historical commission at the same time.
I
Okay.
can do either, so whatever works.
Yeah, I
for
can do June 1st.
I can do
Okay.
either.
All right, let's just do it for June 1st then.
Okay.
And I don't know if Jessica's here. Hello. Welcome. And please introduce yourself. It's too bad Steve Sargent didn't come to this one because I would like to wish him a fond farewell and a thank you for all his hard
Mhm.
work in the past few years.
No.
Yeah, no, it's heading back home.
Is he from Tennessee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, he's going back home. He's going back closer to family. So,
Oh, nice. Okay, does anybody else have anything that they want to bring up?
I like you
I-
all.
yeah, no, I do. And Justin, and I have been there on June 19th. There's going to be a Juneteenth event in Bridgewater, and I had a discussion. Like I'll actually be speaking to it based off of the letter that was sent to Bridgewater, England, and just talking about like the good and the bad history of Bridgewater's how it dealt with slavery, and we in the discussion I had with the committee that's running the Juneteenth event, they are looking for funding for the for parts of the event. And I know Justin, I think you may have talked a little bit more with it, but it's happening. Obviously June 19th, and June, but if I think that what they're asking for our assistance, and where we're trying to spend some money before the end of the year, this fits in. I feel it fits in exactly what our committee's looking at right now. So I don't know, Justin, do you have any more information than I do?
Yeah, just pardon me, just a little bit. And I'm aware of it through Mr. David Wilson, who had approached me. David also happens to be a board member for Bridgewater Music Alley, so he had approached Music Alley about potentially partnering. But what they're looking to do at the Ironworks now location in the field is host a celebration to gather folks together to celebrate culture and the history and origins of Juneteenth, which is now recognized as a holiday by the state. And they're looking to bring in, and they've already worked to bring in at least one or two musicians, a sound company. They're looking at staging and other things to kind of create a bit of a festival environment, in addition to some speakers and other pieces. So they have a group of folks that are working on it that are seemingly fundraising feverishly, and contributing in and amongst their group a lot of their own personal funds to make it happen. So based off the nature of the event itself and the situation that we're in, as we've talked about with our budget, it seemed to me like a good idea. It's just a matter of us being able to direct them or other groups like them about how to, in a not formal Mass Cultural Council application environment, how to apply for funding for an event like this at this point in time.
So we can't give money. We can't write grants except for the formal grant process. However, we have those funds. We would have to somehow, and it's easy to send the money. All we have to do is like tell Lori.
Yeah.
But we just have to be careful that they can't apply for it. They cannot apply for a grant. It would have to be Bridgewater Cultural Council's project.
Can I clarify?
Yeah.
When you say can't apply through the Cultural Council site, but maybe could through an informal intake through us?
That is not allowed,
Oh, okay.
like by the state. That is not, because I asked Lisa when I was working with her on finishing the thing, I was like, oh, we could give money here and here and here. When she was like, you have this excess, you have to spend it. She's like, no, you can't do that. She's like, I can't even hear you say that. So, but we can give the money. It would just have to be, we would call it our own project. And not that we have to say the Juneteenth celebration is our project, but whatever we're funding, that's our project for the town.
Okay. Here.
That makes sense?
Yes.
So could we tie in something could we tie in our like a part that the Cultural Council wants to do and tie it in with this event?
Yeah.
And use the money. So is this
Yeah.
something that we can if once we know like how to properly do it, how I guess what would be the quickest and fastest way that we could do this? So that seeing that we have about a month and a half, or
you would come up with specific amount that is needed and what it's for. We vote on it. I go to Lori and have her cut a check.
Okay.
That's actually, I mean, in terms of making it happen even better.
That's quick.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, so I guess it's just a matter of a couple of us taking it on in terms of like they've done the heavy lifting of putting the event together, but just taking it on in terms of being a go-between, a rep to their committee from our Cultural Council. For our interest, we'd probably want to minimally have a table and some representation at the event to kind of formalize the partnership. And kind of go from there, which I don't think they would have any concerns with that, considering that they're hoping for the assistance.
I don't think we even need to do that.
I think it would be good to have
a fun idea, but it's not a necessity for giving the money.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think some of the funds, like if it does go towards like almost advertise, like because we will be putting like Bridgewater Cultural Council as like a sponsor or we're part of that event, it would be a great advertising event for our council too.
Yeah.
So I think that's where that's a good location for some money to go.
Yeah.
So do you know what, like, how much are they looking for and what is it going to?
They haven't, I think, because the not knowing what we can offer, they haven't asked a specific number. I mean, I think we're talking around $1,000.
Okay.
But I mean, certainly they would be amenable to whatever we can contribute.
Is it Evelyn DeLutis? Is that the one that? No, it's somebody else's name.
Well,
Somebody,
I know that
originally it's from a church, right? They reached out to me like,
yes.
I'm-
Evie very well could be a part. She's in with the folks working on that.
And
okay.
actually, Just if you want to find more information about it, the town meeting, town council meeting that just started, Antoinette, Purified, and one other woman, they're actually speaking about the event at the town council meeting tonight. So probably in the next half hour or so.
Okay, so yeah, so one of the things that the Lisa from the state recommended is she's like, you could just like buy a tent for outdoor concerts. Like that can be our Bridgewater Cultural Council project. So it's like, it's very, very flexible. We just can't have anybody apply for it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, I can reach out to them and find out like how much money they need and what they need. But if they need it quick, can we vote on it now? Even though we don't have like specific amounts?
Right.
I think that would be a good idea because since we're not meeting next until June 1st.
Yeah, could we like put a vote toward that's flexible? Like
Mhm.
we have X number of funds. Can we earmark
Yep.
Y number for this and
Yeah.
just say spend it and we'll
I had,
specify later if need be?
So I think we have 2,400 for the project, and then we have another $800 for administration that we never spend.
Okay.
So we have that amount to spend.
I would be so happy to.
We need to
earmark
spend it by
all-
June 30th, right?
I
Wow.
don't think so.
No,
well, I
I
think,
didn't know.
I mean, that's fiscal year, but we need to spend it before we have to complete that form next year where we say that money's still in there where.
Yeah.
it can't be
I'm happy to like if they can use all the money, I'm happy just to be done with it and give it to them.
Mhm.
I'd love to not have to think about it. And this is
Yeah.
like a perfectly
like-
worthy event.
Well,
We need people to give money to at this point, or we need projects to fund. So all in favor of giving them whatever
Yeah.
they need up to the
Love
100
money.
our funds?
Take it.
Aye.
Good.
Okay, cool. And that I forgot to mention about that money that we had to spend. So that's done too. Okay, so we voted on that. Okay, anything else? Before we say goodnight?
no.
No? Okay, thanks everybody for coming.
Yay.
Thank
See
you.
you June 1st.
Good talk.
Okay,
Teresa,
and
I-
I'll keep you guys updated. I'm not on Facebook anymore, but I'll keep you guys updated through the messenger.
Okay. Teresa,
what-
I had let David Wilson know that we were meeting to talk about that tonight, so I'll tip him off. I'll tip him off to our conversation.
Okay, cool,
just so
thank you.
they're
And
aware.
I'll reach out to I can't remember the woman's name that originally reached out to me about Juneteenth, like months ago, but I'll just reach out to her.
Okay.
Um,
Perfect.
old no name, old what's her face, okay.
Oh,
All right.
that's
It very
okay.
well could be Evie. It
lovely.
very well could have been.
I get names confused. Okay, thanks guys. See you guys soon.
Bye.
Good seeing
Bye.
everybody.
Good night. Thank you.